These poems are dedicated to all those whose lives have been spent in bringing peace to this planet. Wherever you are, I bow my head. May peace be on this earth. We are all united with the thread of love. May each one of us realize the garland of life.
Stoking the fire. We are all stoking the fire of life. Most of the time, we aren't aware of it. Many people simmer the pot of anger. It boils over constantly. Mind you, they have a difficult time going to sleep. Thousands of negative chemicals gets released into the bloodstream. The mind is in a high beta state. The faucet of adrenaline doesn't ever get shut off. Imagine constantly drinking your own poison. Anger never solves any problems, especially to yourself. The wise man places the logs of kindness, love, and compassion on the fire of life. He sleeps like a baby. One has nothing to prove. He doesn't try to convince you of his point of view. He will say what he has to say without any judgment or superiority. Kindness goes a long way in life. Many people think that kindness is weak. Do you think the universe is weak? The foundation of the universe is kindness. This is your natural state. What kind of fuel do you put on the fire of life? Are you sinking the ship that you are on? A wise man has his hand on the tiller of life. He is thoroughly enjoying the breeze blowing through his hair. He may have a gold bun with his hand. The stars are sparkling at night. What a glorious life! This life is a grand adventure. Whatever you stroke the fire with becomes your reality. You place the kindling on your fire of love. Whatever you place on the fire becomes your destiny. When it is over, you can solve this riddle. Happy life, happy death. Happy life, happy death. This seems to be a contradiction in life. Smile at life and smile at death. Both life and death are your greatest friends. We come into this world empty-handed. We leave this world empty-handed. Everything external is taken away. Yet our upbringing is not in harmony with reality. We place such emphasis on the external. We break almost every conceivable natural law. We place clouds around our clear light and are proud to do so. A wise man has his feet on the ground and his head in heaven. He is probably one of the most practical persons on earth. He may be a poor man, yet he is rich in heart. Great wisdom comes from silence. This wisdom is the only thing you can take on your voyage back home. The world needs kindness desperately. Our petty thoughts have created chaos all around. We are throwing garbage in our own living room of life, yet we think that's no problem. A wise person once said over 50 years ago, we are sawing off the branch we are sitting on. Ponder this over. Happy life, happy death. You will solve this riddle when you discover the jewel inside of you. What are you gathering, my friend? What are you gathering, my friend? Every day we wake up and start a new day. Usually the first thing that you think about starts the wheels in motion of the mind. If it's, oh my God, I have to drag myself out of bed, you will be exhausted throughout the day. If you watch the media throughout the day, your mind will be preoccupied with the drama of the present moment. You will then gather fear and trauma in your mind and body. Remember, your mind and body are one and the same. A wise man gathers wisdom in each and every breath. A wise man gathers kindness, love, and compassion in each moment. Yes, even the wise man has his moments when he falls down. Yet the wise man will pick himself up from the ground and laugh at his mistake. In each moment, we choose what we gather. The same event can happen to two different people. One person will take the high road. The other person will take the low road. The same two people have the same event happen to them at the same exact place and time. Why do they respond so differently? One person is trying to swim upstream in life. Life is a struggle. The other person lets the river of life push him downstream. That is the only difference. One lives in the center of the hurricane where the winds of the mind can't touch him. The other person lives his life like leaves scattered by the hurricane-force winds of the mind. Mind you, the wise man was once like you. He simply changed the direction he was swimming in. Yes, this is a riddle. There is a meaning behind these words. You can change if you want to. Your true happiness lies inside of you. Even during this COVID time, one can be an absolute peace of mind. The Inner Elixirs. Many great mystics talk about the inner elixirs of life from the Bible. Then The angel showed me the river of the water of life, bright as crystal, flowing from the throne of God and of the Lamb. The Buddhists talk about the elixir of mindfulness. In the 6 yogas of Naropa, they talk about the following: flaring and dropping, the drops within. The 4 blisses melt the drop of kindness, compassion, and love, uniting the white and red drop at the heart. The ancient yogis talked about the Amrita, the divine nectar, and Soma. Kabir says, "See what a lotus blooms there without water. My heartbeat drinks its nectar." The Taoists talk about the inner elixirs within. They are both physical and non-physical. Today, Western scientists knows we have a chemistry lab within. Each of our thoughts and emotions creates over 1,500 different kinds of chemicals. Depending on your brain state, harmful or positive chemicals will be released. Billions of people can't turn off the faucet of adrenaline at night. They toss and turn all night long. The wise man learns to calm down the mind and sleep like a newborn baby. One is aware there's an infinite amount of chemicals waiting to be discovered. Dr. Joe Dispenza is on the cutting edge of technology, using science and the old ancient mystic ways. Millions of people are waking up from their slumber. They realize they are their own master chemist. One can live like leaves blowing in the wind, or one can live in the center of the hurricane. The choice is yours. We can have our feet on the ground and our heads in heaven. This is a riddle to be solved. The answer lies within. How's it going? How's it going? Just checking up on you. We are all in the same boat in the journey of life. This journey needs support from one another. One can't do it alone. Have you ever seen a baby born without a mother? We all need support along the way. I even wrote a book called Family and Friends. I think I wrote about 450 of my family and friends. Treasure them while they are alive. Your worldly possessions don't mean much without friendships. Can you imagine having a grand palace and you're living there alone? That could be a mental torture chamber for some. I find it strange, at least in America, we work ourselves to death. Years ago, I worked for the observatory in Maui. A dear friend died because he worked too much. He left a 12-year-old daughter behind. One good thing about this pandemic is many people are thinking about the purpose of life. Many people are fed up with their jobs and how they're being treated. This is a serious problem. Maybe companies need to wake up and face the music. They have no problems firing you or laying you off. Yet when thousands of employees quit out of nowhere, they bitch and moan. Europeans lack at our work-life balance. They think we are crazy. We use around 85% of the world's pharmaceuticals, yet our population is only around 6% of the world's total. We get a measly 2 weeks vacation. Many people never use that. No wonder we are in such an unhealthy state of mind, body, and soul. Relax and chill out. Only you can adjust the thermostat of stress within. Change your lifestyle. Truly enjoy the friendships in your life. Laugh at the absurdity of the situation at hand. Don't take it personally. It's a mad, mad world. There's a fine line between fiction and nonfiction. There's a fine line between fiction and nonfiction. Where does our imagination come from? Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. I would say imagination encircles the universe. Our external knowledge is extremely not limited. Our imagination is infinite. We were born to dream. We were born to fly like dragons within us. Even a young child that can't walk can be as free as the wind. Nothing external can stop our imagination. The more a person imagines, the more developed the imagination will be. The Tibetan Buddhists are at a PhD level when it comes to imagination. Yet they have hearts like a child. Only a child can gather great wisdom. Our egos don't lead us far in gathering sacred wisdom. Yes, we need them in order to survive. Unfortunately, the world is run by egomaniacs. When truth becomes fiction and fiction becomes truth, it's a sad day in human history. We have so much potential inside of us. Our media spins the truth like cotton candy. It tastes so good, but it's pure sugar. If you ate that one, if you only ate that one, would have an early death. What does it take for man to change? We were sent to our rooms by Mother Nature. A few years later, we tried to live life like nothing ever happened. A few days ago, over 1 million people caught the virus in one day. Imagination brings great wisdom to this land. Maybe, just maybe, we should ponder about life. Do we even know we are on a treadmill that is going nowhere? Speak up for the truth. It's been 1 year since the Capitol riot. The majority of one party still says it didn't happen. Even with all the evidence, they put their heads in the sand and spin the truth. For those who tell the truth, heavy consequences come their way, like being booted out of your own party. Death threats towards you and your family. Many people would love to have the former president in office. Many still believed it was a rigged election. Consequently, many laws are passed to restrict voting rights. Our democracy is being tested right before our very eyes. Truth is fiction, and fiction is truth. If you say the lie enough, millions of people will believe it. This is not Republican versus Democrats. We're talking about our democratic system that is our foundation. The foundation is slowly collapsing. Where are the ethics and morals which make our great country? It seems like some want power and will do anything to acquire them, even if it means destroying the foundation. Many news media spin the truth like cotton candy. They know exactly what they are doing. Millions of their followers eat the candy and think it is the truth. The latest poll says around 36% of Americans believe in violence to protect the country. Maybe we should return to our ethics and not spin the truth. We need to hit the reset button. Let's bring back kindness and compromise. Let's bring back we are Americans and we are united. Each one of us has a different point of view in life. Our founding fathers embraced that. That's why millions of people immigrated here. This is a melting pot. Love your fellow man. Enjoy how different and unique they are. Stop building the roadblocks. After all, we are sawing off the branch we are sitting on. Breath by breath. The key to unity is in each and every breath. You are the universe. You just don't know it. The East says Sat Chit Anand. Truth is the consciousness of bliss. This is your true state of being. All external highs will take you up and then come crashing down on the sand of life. This is the nature of the external world. Everything changes. Nothing is constant. We hold on for dear life. Family and friends slowly fade away into the night, never to come back again. Yet behind your breath lies the keys to the other rooms in the great mansion. One can experience your loved ones on the other side. You are never alone. You just think you are. Mystics have been talking about this for time immemorial. Yes, it takes patience and practice. Tell me anything that doesn't. A great surfer spends years practicing his craft. We have the opportunity to do this in each and every breath. Nobody knows when they will take their last breath. Life is a grand mystery. Geese flying in the sky. I love watching geese flying in the sky. It is so mesmerizing. Sri Ramakrishna would go into samadhi when he saw them flying in the sky. They were in perfect harmony and sync with each other. The military build surveillance jets just like the formation Geese flying. They discovered this was the perfect energy flow of flying. Harmony is all around us. You don't see flocks of geese at war with each other. They have their own families and clans soaring together. Where I live in the winter, thousands of geese are flying in the sky. Most people in Kansas, where I live, never pay attention to them. For many, they are a nuisance. Why don't they pick up after themselves? Their droppings make great fertilizers for the earth. We don't need artificial fertilizers. This world would be in a better place if humans will learn how to be in harmony with Mother Nature. We see drastic climate changes and the effects it is having. It gets worse year by year. A sword is held up by a thread in each and every moment. Yet, we are oblivious to it. Many people are waking up from their slumber. You are a piece of this precious puzzle. Further generations are dependent upon the precious actions that we take today. If we all chipped in and made the effort, we can solve this puzzle. Then indigenous people say, in our language, we don't have a word for rights. We have words for responsibility. There is great wisdom in that statement. We are guardians of this sacred land. Pause. Learn to pause in your life. We live most of our lives on remote control. We can't see the forest from the trees. To pause consciously is a gift from the universe. You might ask, what's so special about pausing? I don't see any benefits from it. Well, if you're about ready to cross the street, and a huge truck was barreling down, it might be wise to pause for a few seconds. Pausing causes one to have gratitude in one's life. Gratitude is the key to seeing whether the glass is half empty or full. Our attitudes are the factors of how we live our lives. If we're constantly sour grapes will be the norm. Likewise, a wise person turns sour grapes into wine. This is the greatest alchemy there is when we turn our perspective of life around. By pausing before acting, we can filter what we say or do. Just one word spoken or action can sever a relationship. Words can spin out of control. We can stop putting gasoline on the fire of life. A wise man simply smiles at confrontation. He has nothing to say or prove. His ego isn't involved in trying to convince someone of his point of view. Pausing, relax, and releasing are the keys to a happy life. One learns how to be in harmony with the universe. Lao Tzu was at the forefront of this. The Tao Te Ching is probably the greatest book ever written on universal harmony. For many, it's a fairy tale. For many, life's great mysteries are contained in its essence. Life's mysteries are contained in simple things in life. just like breathing. Most people take it for granted until the last breath comes along. At that point, death is knocking on your door. A wise man is conscious of his breath during his lifetime. Consequently, death is simply changing one's clothes. Bring the art of pausing in your life. $1,300,000. A few days ago, we had 1,300,000 people get COVID in one day. I was kind of expecting that. We had 3 major holidays back to back. Over 100 million people traveled by car or by plane during the holidays. I know people want things to get things back to normal. Yet, we're repeating the same mistakes as the Spanish flu in 1917. We're patient only for a while, and then we lose it. Yesterday, Dr. Fauci said on CNN that half the population would get COVID one day or another. I first saw this online. I thought I wasn't reading this properly. I told my wife, and we turned on the news. Lo and behold, there was Dr. Fauci was saying the same thing on TV. Furthermore, they were saying the cloth masks, which millions of people wear daily, don't work at all. Mixed signals. To be honest, this virus morphs and changes on a dime. Maybe what is true now is not true a month later. I remember a year ago when the administration took off their masks. They said if you were vaccinated, you didn't need one. Well, today the story is different. Even if you had both vaccines and the booster shot, one could get this new variation. The good thing is your chances of landing in the hospital are slim. Now, the unvaccinated is another story. I have 2 dear friends I have known for a very long time. They weren't vaccinated and both came down with it recently. Both of them said they have never been sicker in their entire life. They could see if you were already down and out, one could easily die. It's like surfing a huge wave and wiping out. Unfortunately, one is held down for 3 waves. Can you imagine coming up to the surface, gasping for air, and another wave hits you on the head? Most COVID survivors say that they would have taken the vaccine if they knew what they had to go through. Most surfers can't survive a 3-wave hold down. How about you?